Hey there, okay, and welcome to, well, not my, but our laser review of the new film, The Flash, starring everyone's favorite actor, Ezra Miller.
What an asshole.
Yeah, listen, it's one of the things where before we talk about this, we just got done and grabbed the memorabilia because I had to get the shit for my kid, and why not?
Merchandising, merchandising.
We got the Flash popcorn Regal. They got me, guys, I'm not gonna lie. It was the popcorn thing, also the friggin' cup, and it's a collector's item, and why not? I don't mind getting my kids some stuff. But there's been some people online, and I can't blame anybody for this, and I'm just gonna flat out say it that yeah, Ezra Miller is a piece of shit.
He's a huge piece of shit.
And I understand some people they can't separate the art from the artist, and they wouldn't want to see this film because a guy is an asshole, and I don't care. I'm calling him, not a they them shit, but regardless, I still want to do a review based on this film because as much as I can't stand Ezra Miller as a person, I do like the character of Barry Allen. On top of I like the character of Batman and Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and Supergirl and things like that. All right, so how do we feel about the Flash? And no matter what, guys, this is the end of an era. You can love or hate the Snyderverse and the way Zack Snyder portrayed these characters, but this is the end of the Snyderverse for the most part. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen with Aquaman too? But yeah, it's is what it is, right? So before we start this, we're gonna grab some Pepsi. I'm trying this Amsterdam New Amsterdam apple vodka, and then we'll get into whether the Flash was good or bad. Should you go see it? Did we like it? How do we feel about it? Let's make a toast and then check this stuff out. Ready? And here we go. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before we do the intro, I mean, you may or may not know a lot about the whole Flashpoint paradox and the Flashpoint storyline. Essentially, the Flashpoint is Barry Allen going back in time because Barry Allen has a very tragic backstory where his mother, depending on continuity, his mother was killed by the Reverse Flash, and that made him become the Flash. And his father was accused of killing his mother, and he spends the rest of his life in prison.
It's really fucked up.
It's basically a loose adaptation where Barry wants to go back in time, he wants to save his mother, and as these things happen, whenever you fuck with the timeline, things don't always go according to plan. So that's the basic premise of the plot of The Flash. But before we get into, was the film good, bad? I'm drinking.
I'm an alcoholic.
Is it worth your time watching or your hard-earned money? Let's find out. But firsthand, we have to enjoy the intro. You ready? Let's go. This stuff is really good. All right, so The Flash obviously takes place sometime after Justice League, and I'll give it credit. The first 15 minutes is all fucking action.
Soothing action, 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 action.
And it's a big just teaser and fuck you because damn, it's, the last time we're ever gonna get to see Ben Affleck be Batman.
You could travel back in time. But Bruce, I can fix things. You can also destroy everything.
I did like it, and that's just, the beginning. There's a scene with Barry. This whole skyscraper has fallen. He's got to do the whole, I guess you want to call it the Quicksilver effect, because ever since X-Men and Quicksilver, this happens now whenever you have super fast characters, and the whole slow motion effect where Barry's running slow, and he's saving a whole bunch of babies. Yeah, the Flash is saving babies, and also, I gotta admit, seeing Ezra Miller hold the baby in his arms, that was, kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, he's creepy as fuck.
After that, it just comes down to the whole Flashpoint. You've seen the stuff in the trailers where Barry is talking to Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne that he wants to save his mother because his dad is coming up for parole again, and basically his dad, he knows he's going to get denied for parole, and he's tired of his dad spending half his fucking life in prison for murdering his mother, and Barry knows that his dad didn't kill his mom. So what does Barry do? He fucks with the timeline, and guess what? Shit goes south.
Oh,
This is mad trippy. Dude, this is catastrophic.
He messes with the timeline, saves his mother, saves his dad, and then he runs into his alternate version. And even he said this, holy Christ, this is supposed to be a younger version of Barry, because Barry, as we know him, is 23, 24. This version is about 18, so he's 5 years younger, and he has a different haircut. And, Ezra Miller, as an actor, he doesn't do a very good job of playing Barry Allen. He can't carry a film by himself, and the character of Barry Allen can carry his own comic and carry his own TV show. We get this with Grant Gustin in the Flash TV show. So we have Ezra Miller playing off himself. Basically, our version of Barry, he's annoying and quirky, but you can kind of take him in small doses. The younger version of Barry, it's every time he fucking talks, he acts, his mannerisms, the guy is totally fucking unwatchable, and I'm like, geez, just please God, make it end.
Oh, dear Lord, please make it stop.
Thankfully, it doesn't drag on too long, and eventually, and you guys have seen this shit, at this point, you know what's going to happen with the trailers and the marketing. After the 1 hour mark, we get to see Batman, because what happens, General Zod comes back from Man of Steel, which, admittedly so, is kind of a weird choice, but hey, whatever. CGI de-aging, Michael Shannon, badass actor, awesome version of Zod, he looks pretty goddamn good. The thing is now, because Barry was fucking with the timeline, Zod is here, but the thing is, there's no Superman, there's no Kal-El. Now, they have to go get Supergirl, but of course, they don't know it's Supergirl. I wasn't sure how to take Supergirl by the initial pictures a year ago. I thought the costume looked fucking terrible. I gotta admit, when I first seen her on screen and she first had the outfit, I was like, you know what? I'm impressed, and that's off. And Supergirl, she does a very good job of like kind of holding Zod down. What it comes down to, and this may piss some people off, that she's not as good as her cousin. Simple as that. It's like she can hold Zod down to like a stalemate, but she can't fucking beat Zod. And even in Man of Steel, Superman himself, he barely beat Zod, but he had to, you know, snap his fucking neck. The biggest marketing campaign is Michael Keaton. Is Michael Keaton worth it? Is he a badass? Is he worth the price of admission? And I'm going to say this right now that for me and even for him, yes, he definitely was. As much as I couldn't stand Ezra Miller and Barry Allen, the second you see Bruce Wayne and the second he puts on the fucking outfit and the whole Danny Elfman music and I Am Batman, I just got fucking goosebumps.
People underestimate the power of nostalgia.
Every scene that Michael Keaton is in, it's just fucking glorious. And of course, they have no problem abusing the Danny Elfman theme. And yeah, you know, it's just Batman is the strategist. He's the person that leads the team, and you have to have him there.
Want some help?
I did like the fact that there's not really a happy ending, because something that Barry has to learn, and even the younger version of Barry, and this is something that I gave to Across the Spider-Verse credit with Miles and Miguel, is that sometimes as a superhero, you have to understand the fact that you can't save everybody. Sometimes some people have to die. And even something simple as like Barry, you know, you want to go back in time and saving your mother and making your dad have a better life. It's, you know, it's admirable and it's rational, and it's very heartbreaking that this tragedy had to happen. However, what happens like with these characters is, if you know, if your mother doesn't die, if your dad doesn't get framed, you don't become the Flash. And how many billions or millions of lives do you save? When he's talking to Bruce, you know, the Ben Affleck Bruce, he's like, you know, I can go back and save your parents. And Bruce, as an older man, gives him some very good Ben Affleck, kick-ass, cool sage advice that, yeah, you know, had his parents lived, he wouldn't have became Batman. You know, sometimes our tragedies are what make us to be better people, and in this case, better heroes.
You're going to learn a hard lesson.
That's the entire third act, is that as much as Michael Keaton's fucking badass, and he is as powerful as Supergirl is, and she is, and as powerful as two Flashes are, guess what? Zod is a fucking beast.
Zod, we've been waiting for you.
This is the one time with a Flash, you can't save the fucking day, buddy. You have to just run away. You have to run away and accept the fact that some things just cannot be changed, and it's a very good message to give the character of the Flash and just the tragedy of some of these characters, what they have to go through to become heroes. So I did like the aspect of the film, and that's pretty much it. Anything you want to say?
Let him speak!
I mean, I would say this is like a good rental movie, because like there is a lot of it that like Ezra Miller, he was kind of like annoying. Like the regular like Ezra Miller, he was okay. He had a lot of good moments. Ben Affleck, you know, he for when he was in it, it was good. Michael Keaton, he carried the movie like on his shoulders. Supergirl was great whenever she was in it. I'm trying to think what else. Zod was cool. He was a really cool villain.
I thought Michael Shannon, even in Man of Steel, Michael Shannon was a badass Zod. And this is the problem, is that Zod himself, Supergirl, even Michael Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman, they are the best parts of the film, and it's not called the Batman show or the Zod show, it's called The Flash. And this is the main criticism, is that when the movie's called The Flash, and the Flash is the weakest character, that's not good.
That's just lazy writing.
I liked it, didn't love it. I had a good time, not a great time. It's not something I hated, because trust me, if you want something I hated, I took him to see that little fucking mermaid movie, and I still, to this day, I hate that goddamn movie, you know?
Abomination.
It's not something, honestly, I would see myself owning and buying, just because of, like, I shouldn't have to keep skipping different sections, different chapters of a film to enjoy the good parts. So yeah, I would give it a matinee film, or like he said, at least give it a rental, give it a one-time watch, just because as much as you may hate Ezra Miller, and his version of Barry Allen. The scenes with Michael Keaton are fucking awesome. They really fucking are. Supergirl is awesome. Ben Affleck's Batman are awesome. Last but not least, we gotta talk about it, but I won't spoil it. What about the cameos?
That's bait.
The cameos are there, and I'm sure by the time you see this, you've already read about the different ones online. Some are good, some are bad, and the ones that people are already like not liking, are reading about because it's coming down to guys where we're de-aging actors and possibly even bringing certain actors back to life. I mean, just take that, as what you will. I didn't mind it as much because I still feel like when you bring back an actor's image or something, or maybe a scene from an older film, instead of like some people feel like what's cheap member berries or like cheap knockoffs and shit or just cheap nostalgia, I did appreciate it for what it was because I feel like it's showcasing the stuff that Barry has to sacrifice. Like how many multiverses there are, how many billions and trillions of lives are you going to lose by making this decision of saving your mother? That's the way I took it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at you if you said, okay, it's just cheap fan baiting and shit, and it's just cheap member berries. Okay, but it didn't bother me. And I'm not going to lie, whenever I've seen a different version of The Flash or Batman or Superman, I was smiling. Just seeing these characters one more time because let's be honest, guys, after this, we're probably not going to see them ever again. That's it. That's all I can think about. As always, he's got school in the morning. I got to friggin' check my time, and Jesus Christ, I have to edit this stuff. And any last like words, buddy, for we toast?
They should have made this sooner, like before James Gunn got involved. What can you do at this point? All I hope is that James Gunn makes the this new DC universe good, makes like solo movies that lead up to the Justice League like Marvel did before it got bad.
All right, good words. All right, so let's toast this, guys. And before we toast this, I have a job that I have to get ready for once he goes to bed, and this job, just like my old job,
I hate my job.
All right, let's grab Bender. You ready?
Yep.
See you guys later.
This calls for a drink.
All right, he's going to bed, and me, as always,
It's called a catchphrase.
I have to head back to work.